This book is going to attract two kinds of readers. The ones that are looking for an Adrienne Young book in magical realism, or the ones that just read the synopsis and are expecting a thriller. But this book is not one or the other, it's something in between, and you're either gonna love it or not. But it's really hard to hate on a book that is this well written. So today I'm going to review for you A Sea of Unspoken Things by Adrienne Young. This is the first book that I read by Adrienne Young because I typically like to read more fast-paced, maybe thrillers, mysteries, and books like that. However, I've been branching out and enjoying a lot more of a magical realism, a lot more of literary fiction, and when I saw that this was coming out, I requested a copy on NetGalley. I got it, and that's how I read it. This is our library copy, and I ordered mine, personal one, from Book of the Month. Now, the synopsis of this book kind of gives you thriller vibes. It's a story of twins, James and Johnny. James is a girl and she is notified that her brother just passed away. Now James decides to go back to their hometown in California, and this is a small town that doesn't have good Wi-Fi or cell reception. It's in the woods, it's kind of dark, it's humid. There's a lot about the atmosphere, a lot about the trees, and it kind of takes you to a different kind of magical place. Once she gets there, she reconnects with a guy that she used to be close to before she moved to the city, and she is going to try to investigate what really happened to her brother. Initially, it was said that it was a hunting accident, but she knows in her heart, because of all the things that she's feeling, all the things that she's finding, that that's not really what happened. And once she starts to investigate in this tiny town when nobody wants to talk about the past, she starts to realize that maybe her brother is not who she thought he was, and now she's kind of debating, should she continue to dig and find out who her brother was, and or just leave it in the past now that he's gone. Now I have to say that the first part of the story is provocative, insightful, deep, eye-opening, smart, complex. Those are all the words that come to mind when I think about the first half of this book. And it kind of encompasses a little bit more of that magical realism without being very obvious, because she is feeling things, she is seeing things that may be connected to supernatural, but if you're a skeptic, it could be that she's having this because of that connection with her brother. So the first half of this book may cater to those that like her writing style, how she takes the time, how she's exploring characters, how she's describing the atmosphere, the feelings of James, what was happening inside of her, and what she was actually fighting. So it touches a lot of emotions. It makes you think about saying things to people while they're still alive, and actually trying to communicate and not let things be, these misunderstandings that sometimes they turn into the last thing you said to a loved one before they passed away. So it's very beautifully written. Now, the second part of this book is it's a page turner. It's thrilling and it's really a quick read. And I finished the last half of the book in a day because I really wanted to know what happened to Johnny. And every time you think you know who did it or if somebody did it, you're wrong. And I have to say that I was able to predict who or how this happened a couple of pages maybe before it was revealed to us, but it was leading up to that, so it only makes sense. In the beginning, I had no idea what could have happened to Johnny. The end was very satisfying to me. I thought it was really smart, and I thought that she crafted this perfect ending based on everything that she built up throughout the book. So it's a really nice combination of magical realism that seems more of a deep connection. It really is not something magical per se, but it kind of combines that with a thriller book, and I thought it was beautiful, and to me it was a 5-star. Now, if you're looking for a thriller, it's gonna take forever to go through the first 50% of this book because it's a really slow pace. It's more written in a literary fiction kind of way, exploring characters but not too deeply. It's very engrossing in the atmosphere and where you are. And I do live in a very woodsy, dark, humid, disconnected kind of place myself. So I thought that that kind of described the area where I live, and I love it. That's why I live here. So I, was really engaged in the first 50% of this book because of the atmosphere. But the second half is really where you're going to get the thrills. So if you're looking for a magical realism, slow-paced story, yeah, you'll get it in the first half. But the second half is going to be for those of you that read the synopsis and thought that this would be a really good mystery. This is not going to be the kind of book that you'll find from a Riley Sager or Frida McFadden. This is beautifully written, but in a completely different style, maybe a little bit more of a slow pace. However, this book is not super long. It's only 273 pages, so it's not that hard to go through, and it gives you an idea of the great combination that these two genres found themselves in this book. However, I understand it's not going to be for everyone. If you're looking for a fast-paced thriller, that popcorn thriller, this is not going to be it. So just so you know, to me, this was a 5-star and worth the read. Just know that the first 50% of this book, it is a combination of another genre, and that's why it's not such a page turner for those thriller lovers. To me, this was the kind of book that I finished it a couple of weeks ago. I just could not do the review because I was away on vacation visiting family for the holidays. But I have to say I needed to record this review because I need you guys to know how beautiful this book is. So anyway, have you read it? Is it on your TBR? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know your impression of this book, if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, if you're looking forward to it. It was